Carbs have a bad reputation, but not all carbs are created equal. When I go looking through social media or listening to women talk about food and health, one thing is really common. Carbs are highly misunderstood. Some people believe that carbs are just bread, pasta, and rice, while others feel that carbs are high sugar whole foods like potatoes or bananas. And then the other thing is it's all fruit or it's the entire vegetable family. And I hear of people eliminating these foods in the name of going low carb. But really, when it comes to understanding carbs, it's quite simple. Carbohydrates are found in all plant-based foods to varying degrees. Let's have carbohydrates. Lentils, beans, and chickpeas are high in carb content as well. And of course, fruits and vegetables. The good thing about these carbs is that they also have fiber. Fiber acts as a countermeasure against the glucose or sugar carbohydrate content of these foods to slow down its production and just make sure that your body isn't spiking insulin or causing fat storage or increasing fatigue. So fiber is good. Those types of carbs are good for you. You might be surprised, though, to learn that dairy is also more carb than protein with its carbohydrate lactose, especially fat-free dairy. And while animal proteins are primarily made of protein and fats, eating too much of these can trigger a high carb-like health situation inside your body. Women need a certain amount of carbohydrates to thrive. Your hormones rely heavily on these molecules for quick energy. Your brain uses it solely. That is the primary only source of energy for your brain. And the right carbs help regulate insulin, inflammation, detoxification, and cortisol production, and overall hormone balance, especially when we're talking about estrogen. Most of the low carb diet trends out there are based on a few studies involving men, not so much women. What we need to understand most is as we hit perimenopause, or roughly ages 35 to 40, is that our ability to metabolize carbs declines. This is why you may notice more cravings around this age, or you find you're storing more fat all over your body. This is known as carbohydrate insensitivity or insulin resistance. You can fix this problem with a few dietary tweaks. And I don't mean extreme diet changes or crazy fad trendy diets. And as women, now that our hormones are going through these wild and crazy fluctuations, we also need to stay on top of our body signs and tweak our diet every once in a while. For me, I tweak every 2 to 3 years right now and have been for about almost 10 years. Whereas a woman with more symptoms and problems and starting off on this health journey and starting off with her personalized nutrition plan that's regulating her hormones needs to tweak her diet every 3 to 6 months for a year or two, and then you can extend that longer. Everyone is different. So if you want to know what you should be doing and eating and what to tweak, I recommend booking a root cause hormone assessment with me. I've pasted the link in the description for you, or you can always check me out on my website. Your body is also really primed to break down carbs very quickly in the morning, and your pancreas is rested and ready to grab glucose, what carbs all break down into, and rush it to your cells to give them quick energy. Your brain might love this, especially if you do a lot of mentally intensive work first thing in the morning, but the rest of the body doesn't want this overload of glucose. Your cells can only handle so much, so what they don't want gets shunted away for storage, starting with the liver, a little bit of muscles, and then fats. There's one reason why women like us should avoid higher carb foods at breakfast, like cereal, oatmeal, yogurt, toast, bagels, muffins, pancakes, a bowl of fruit, and all that usual stuff, the stuff we grew up on. Switch this meal up for high protein plus high fat plus lower carb or lower starchy vegetables with some lower carb fruit like berries or apples. At this point, without knowing your personal situation and symptoms and struggles, I can't tell you exactly what to do to make sure you're getting enough of the right carbs without disrupting this delicate balance. But for now, just make sure you're listening to your body. And if you notice cravings or fatigue or crashes, start adjusting your carbohydrate intake to find your sweet spot. Or book an assessment with me to figure this out faster so that you can be free to enjoy delicious food without worrying about if you're eating too much or the wrong thing. Life is just too short for this. Use legumes, chickpeas, nuts, fresh fruit, and vegetables to keep your energy and hormones steady, strong, and balanced.